Hello, my dear friends. So today, welcome you all to the again digital image processing video lecture series. We are going to talk about the next point, that is nothing but how to calculate the distances between the different pixels and so all those things. Okay, fine. In previous lecture, we have seen different types of adjacency, M adjacency, right? That is nothing but 8 adjacency, 4 adjacency, and M adjacency. That is nothing but the adjacency in a intensity group. Okay, so different pixels are having some different sets of intensity, and from that we are going to find out their neighborhoods and all those things. Okay, uh, in the previous lecture itself also we have seen the distance between the two pixels, how to find out the distance between the two pixels and all these things. That is nothing but the Euclidean distance and all those things that we have discussed. So let us discuss that again in detail with one example. Is that fine? Okay, so let us take one example of Euclidean distance so that you can understand how to find out its Euclidean distance. Okay, so this that we have discussed in a previous lecture, right? So the distance between two pixels P and Q having some coordinate x1, y1 and x2, y2, okay, respectively for these two P and Q pixels. And from that, how we can find out the Euclidean distance that we have discussed in the previous lecture. So let us take one example to calculate this Euclidean distance, and let us say this is nothing but d4 distance, that is nothing but city block distance. Is that fine? Okay, so let us discuss that. Suppose there are two pixels, let us say P and Q, okay, having some coordinate values. Okay, so coordinate, let us say x coordinate is nothing but 110, let us say, and this is having coordinate value as 153. It is a random value, I have taken any random value from that. Okay, and this is nothing but, let us say, having 205 and let us say 185. Okay, so these are the random values I have chosen to find out the Euclidean distance and the city block distance, right? Okay, so how to find out Euclidean distance? Euclidean distance is having a formula. It is under root of x1 minus x2, it's a bracket square, plus y1 minus y2, it's a bracket square. Okay, and it is all under root, square root. Is that fine? Okay, so what is x1 and what is y1, that we are going to find out now. X1 is nothing but x coordinate of p pixel, and x2 is nothing but a x coordinate of q pixel, right? Similarly, y1 and y2. Is that fine? Great. Now let us find out how to find out the Euclidean distance. Okay, so what is the value of x1? X1 is 110. What is x2? X2 is 205, right? It's a bracket square, plus now the y coordinates of corresponding pixels 153 minus 20, sorry, 180, 185, 153 minus 185. Is that fine? It's a bracket square, isn't it? Great. So let us calculate it by means of a calculator. So I am using the calculator. Under root of 110 minus 205 bracket square plus 153 minus 185, it's a bracket square. It is coming as 100. Okay, so this value is resulting as 100.25. Okay, great. Now let us find out its d4 distance. Okay, that is nothing but a city block distance, right? It is also called as a city block distance, right? Okay, so how to find out? The formula is, what is the formula? Mod of x minus s plus mod of y minus t. Okay, now let us take same example. Okay, let us take same pixel having those coordinates. Fine. Now over here x1 is termed as x, right, and y1 is termed as y, and x2 is termed as s, and y2 is termed as t. Is that fine? That is the only change. Okay, so is equals to, therefore what is x? X is nothing but 110 minus 205, s is 205, right or wrong? Yes. Plus, what is y? Y is 153, and what is t? T was 185, right? Okay, so let us calculate it. Mod means you have to take whether the value is minus or positive. You have to consider the value as positive. That's it. Okay, so let us calculate 110 minus 205. It is coming as minus 95. Okay, so mod minus 95 is there, and let us calculate this 153 minus 185. Okay, so it is coming as mod of 32 minus 32. Is that fine? So once we are taking mod, there is minus sign will be converted as plus. Okay, so we are not going to consider the minus sign. So therefore, what can be the value? 95 plus 32. 95 plus 32. How much it will be? It is 127. Okay, 127. So remember that Euclidean distance and uh, this city block distance are having different values. Okay, so Euclidean distance we can directly calculate from one pixel to another pixel. Okay, but in case of while moving the or calculating the city block distance, we cannot move directly from this pixel to the diagonal pixel. Okay, so that limitation is there, that we are going to check out in the further slide. But remember that the Euclidean distance and the city block distance for the same pixels will have different values. Okay, fine. So let us concentrate on the again same the further slides. Is that fine? I hope you understood how to calculate the Euclidean distance and the distance between your that city block distance, right? I hope you understood it very well. Is that fine? Okay, now let us move further to the next slide. Okay, so this is nothing but, now let us concentrate on this. In this case, okay, so city block distance and all those things that we have discussed. Okay, in this case, what is d4? D4 is nothing but a city block distance. Okay, the pixels having a d4 distances from, let us say, x and y coordinates are there. Okay, it may be less or equal to some value r. R can be any value. Okay, as like we have just calculated, it is nothing but 127, right? So we have calculated as 127, isn't it? So r may be any value. Okay, fine. So from that particular diamond centered xy at xy, for example, let us say the pixels with the d4, their distance between the particular pixels are, let us say, it is less than or equal to 2 from that particular pixel, then the center point from the following contours of constant distances is shown like this. So this is your center pixel. Okay, let us say center pixel. For example, let us again consider the similar type of example. Okay, so first we will discuss this one. Okay, wait for a minute. Okay, I hope you understood it very well. Okay, so pixels having a city block distance 1 from a given pixel, they are 4 neighbors. Okay, they are 4 neighbors, right? So the right now pixels having city block distances as 1, they are nothing but a n4p, right? So adjacent neighbors of that particular pixel, that is nothing but in terms of the spatial neighborhood. Okay, fine. Now the green line is representing the Euclidean distance, and the red, blue and yellow are representing the city block distances. Is that fine? Okay, great. Let us talk about the next slide. Okay, it's called city block distance because it is calculated as each pixel between between your two coordinates stood. That means we can say that, let us say, whenever we are calculating the city block distances between the, let us say, different pixels, then we have to traverse in a particular path. Okay, because there is a limitation. What, either we can traverse in a vertical straight manner or horizontal straight manner. We cannot traverse in a diagonal manner. So that's why, suppose I want to find out the distance between, let us say, this pixel and this pixel, centered pixel, then I have to move, or I have to traverse the center element as well. Okay, so the pixel which is in between these two element to these two pixels I have to visit, isn't it? So that is the meaning of that particular sentence. Are you getting it? Okay, so let us discuss that. It's called a city block distance because it is calculated as if each pixel between your two coordinates stood a block. It may be called as a house, let us say, which you have to go around. That means you can only go along the vertical or horizontal lines. So remember that, vertical and horizontal lines, right? We cannot move in a diagonal manner. Okay, between the pixels, but not diagonal. Okay, so we cannot move in a diagonal manner. So that is the limitation of the city block distance, right? So it is as same like that of your movement of the rook means, आपण जो चेसमध्ये हत्ती वापरतो, बरोबर आहे. चेसमध्ये तुम्ही चेस खेळला असाल तर त्याच्यामध्ये हत्ती कसा मूव्ह होतो, आयदर वर्टिकल or horizontal. Okay, it cannot move in a diagonal manner, right? Okay, so bishop have facility to move in a diagonal manner, right? Okay, so it is as like your rook in the chess field, right? Okay, now let us understand what is chessboard distance. Okay, let us understand chessboard distance, and that is called as a d8. Remember that whenever you found the d8 of p comma q, then remember that it is nothing but a chessboard distance. Okay, fine. So what is the formula for that? It is a maximum of subtraction of x coordinate comma subtraction of y coordinates. Are you getting it? So the maximum value, okay, maximum value of x coordinate and subtraction of x coordinate and subtraction of y coordinates of that particular pixel. So let us understand this again with the help of another big example. So let us take p now, 210, okay, comma 150, and let us say q. Let us say this is nothing but your p, and let us say this is nothing but a q. Is that fine? Okay, so q will be having what, that row value will be same 210 as it is, but the column has been, so this is the next column, right? So 151. Are you getting it? Fine. Then the formula is what, d8 of pq, the distance between p and q, that is nothing but the chessboard distance between p and q, will have a maximum value. So we are going to select the maximum value between x coordinate. Now what is the difference between the x coordinate? It is definitely 0, isn't it? Right? Comma, the difference between these two will be what, again mention, remember that there is a mod, right? So it is, though it is coming as -1, it will be considered as +1, isn't it? So which one is the maximum value? 1 is the maximum value. So have you understood why this is coming as 1? Okay, now again over here, if you are going to consider this one, now let us consider this pixel. Now let us say this is nothing but a r pixel. Okay, let us say this is r pixel. So what will be the coordinate for r now? R will have 109. Okay, sorry, not 109. It is having 209, right? 209 comma the next row, previous row and next column, right? So it is 151. Now let us calculate the distance between P and R. Okay, let us calculate distance between P and R. D8 between P and R is coming as max of, what is the distance between these two? What is the difference between these two x coordinates? It is 1, right? Comma, what is the other distance? That is also coming as difference as 1, right? So what is the maximum value? Definitely 1. So are you getting it? Why this is coming as 1? Is that fine? Okay, now let us consider this pixel now. Fine. Okay, wait a minute for that. Okay, now let us say this is nothing but your pixel S. Okay, so let us find out its coordinate. What can be the coordinates? It's right now this is my original pixel, that is nothing but the centered pixel, who's having coordinates as 210 and 150. Okay, so this is nothing but the row as 210 and this is column as 150. Now it is 209 column row and 208 row, right? And this is nothing but 153, 151 column and 152 column, right? So what are the coordinates for that particular S pixel? It is nothing but 1208. The row size, the row coordinate value is nothing but 208 and the column number is 152, isn't it? Okay, now let us find out the distance between these two elements or pixels. Okay, so chessboard distance between P comma S can be calculated as max of the subtraction between the x coordinate. So what is the subtraction? It will result to definitely 2, comma, what is the subtraction between these two? It is also resulting to -2, but we are considering that mod is there, so therefore what will be the maximum size or maximum distance? Definitely is 2, right? So remember that, that's why it is coming as 2. I hope with this example you understood it, how to find out this chessboard distance between the different pixels. Is that fine? Okay, great. Okay, fine. I hope you read this. Okay, so in this case the pixels having d8 distance from, let us say, center xy less than or equal to some value r, okay, from a square centered at square center. So remember that this is nothing but our pixel, so uh, it is going to create the square of these same valued distances across its boundary. So we can call this as nothing but this is the center of the square and it is creating a square. Okay, similarly you can check out for the second type of, or the pixels having chessboard distances as 2, they are also forming the square shaped, right? Okay, so if I'm going to consider the further pixels, okay, so after this row and this column, definitely it will have 3 as a distance between the different pixels. Okay, so again it is going to create the square type of shape after this one, right? So again it is going to create a shape, square type of shape. Is that fine? Okay, so for example they have mentioned over here as well, right? So center point, from that it is going to forming contours of constant distances and it is going to create a contour in the form of or in the shape of square, right? Okay, so that is the meaning of that particular sentence. Okay, fine. So to measure distance, that is d8, you can only go along the vertical or horizontal or diagonal lines. Okay, vertical, horizontal or diagonal lines. Okay, so what is the difference between the city block distance and chessboard distance? In city block distance you can either directly go in a vertical or horizontal manner, but in case of chessboard you can go vertical, horizontal as well as in a diagonal manner. Okay, there is no restriction on it. Is that fine? So I hope you understood what is the difference between the city block distance and chessboard distance, right? Okay, fine. Now, pixels having a chessboard distance 1 from a given pixel are there. It's a 8 neighbors. So if I'm going to consider this as my centered pixel, then definitely they are nothing but our 8 neighbors, right? So n8, I hope we have talked about n8 of particular pixel p, right? So all the pixels who are having the chessboard distances as 1 from the particular given pixel, and they are nothing but it's a particular 8 neighboring or neighborhood pixels. Is that fine? Okay, now let us calculate the distances between the different pixels. Okay, fine. Now we are going to find out the shortest path between the pixels now. Okay, now dm stands for the distance between 2 points and is defined as the shortest m path between the points. Okay, dm is nothing but distance between the 2 points. Okay, and m is nothing but the shortest path, okay, between the 2 points. So let us discuss that as well in the next slide. Okay, now over here v is a set who is having a value as 1 only. Okay, so v is a set, okay, which is consisting of pixel values having intensities as 1 only. Okay, so let us say that the pixel p, p2 and p4 have value 1. Okay, so let us say pixel p, p2 and p4 having values. Okay, so let us say this is nothing but my type of or the locations of my pixel p, p1, p2, p3 and p4. Okay, so what we said in first example, we said that particular pixel p, p2 and p4 have values as 1. So p is over here, p2 is over here and p4 is over here. They are having values as 1, right? So if I am going to calculate the distance between p and p4, let us say p to p4, so what can be the distance? 1 and 2, right? So the distance between, let us say this is 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so the total distance between p to p4 is nothing but what? It will be 3, right? Okay, now let us find out the another distance. Okay, so the dm, that is nothing but the shortest distance between the p and p4, can be found out in multiple ways. Okay, so let us say the first condition, in first condition let us say again the set v is having value as 1. Okay, and the pixel values now p, p1, p2 and p4, they are all having values as 1. Okay, so p is 1. Okay, p is 1, p1 is 1, p2 is 1 and p4 is also 1. Okay, so let us say p is 1 over here, p is 1, then p1 is over here, right? P1 is also 1, then p2 is over here, p2 is also having value 1, then p3 is over here and lastly p4 is over here. So this is having 0, right? So we need to traverse the values or the pixels who's having value only 1. So this pixel we cannot consider into our path, so this must be excluded from the path, right? So either we can traverse from this to this and then we can go to this one. Okay, but the shortest path could be p, p2 and p4. Okay, so 1, sorry, yes, 1, this one and this one. So 3 will be the shortest path. If I am going to select this path, let us say p, p1, p2 and p4, then 1, 2, 3 and 4, it will be having a larger path value, isn't it? So distance between these p and p4 will have path value as distance value as 4. Okay, but in case of I am going to traverse from p to p4 directly through p2 or via p2, then the distance between that p and p4 will have a 3 as a distance value. Okay, fine. Then or else we can check out the other example as or other condition as p, p2, p3 and p4 is having value as 1. Okay, so let us consider that in a similar manner. In case of now P2 is not there. Yes, P2 is there. P2 is there. All the values are having 1. Okay, so this is also 1. Then we can either traverse in this manner, or then either we can go for in this manner. Okay, so P1, P3 and P4, that is also a third path. Okay, so total 3 paths will be available for the second condition. Okay, that means for this condition it is having 3 paths, so multiple paths are available. Okay, so we can reach from particular pixel to particular another pixel with the multiple paths, right? Okay, next is nothing but, let us say again, P is there, P1 is there, P2 is there and P4 is there. We have discussed this also, right? Okay, then if I am going to find out the shortest distance path between, let us say, P to P4, then in first case I will be getting the distance between P to P4 is nothing but 3, right? So P to P4, if I am going to have this one as a condition, okay, so this is condition related to this, right? Or this statement is related to this condition. Okay, so in that case I am having the distance between this P to P4 is having the shortest path as 3, right? And if I'm going to talk about this one, then this is nothing but the value, this is nothing but the case. Okay, so P1, then P2 and P4, whenever I'm going to select this path, it is having a path value as a 4. Okay, so the distance between P to P4 in this case, okay, so in this case is, yes, this one, this case it will have a path value as 4. I hope with this example you understood it very well. Is that fine? Over here also they have mentioned it. Okay, so this is nothing but the first condition. Okay, so the distance between this and this is having, let us say, this condition is there, right? So this is P1, P2 and P4. Are you getting it? So P1, P2 and P4, right? So this is having shortest path, or the distance between the pixel P and P4 will be what? It is having 4 as a shortest distance between that, or the distance between P and P4 will have a value as 4. But over here as well, okay, over here as well, this is the condition, right? So this is valid for this both conditions. Okay, P2, P3. Now P is over here, P1 is over here, P1 is 0, so we are not going to consider into the path. P2, P3 and P4. So as we are talked about this one, okay, the next example we have taken this as a 1, isn't it? So this is also resulting to the distance value as 4, isn't it? Because 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 and 4. So because of that, the distance between P and P4, whenever we are going to traverse in such a way that, let us say, P2, P3 and P4, then the distance is nothing but resulting as 4, right? So likewise we can find out the multiple distance values between the different particular pixels. Is that fine? Okay. Okay, now let us discuss the last point of your chapter, that is nothing but a linear and non-linear operations. Okay, I hope you know what is about linear and linearity and non-linearity, right? Okay, so linear and non-linear, what do you mean by linear and what do you mean by non-linear? So remember that if the relation between the input and output is linearly proportional to each other, then it is called as a linear. And if it is not satisfying this condition, that is nothing but, let us say, the relation between the resistor, okay, the resistor and current, fine. So remember that as the resistor increases, as the resistor, let us say voltage is there, voltage and current, okay, so voltage and current, that is having the relation between R. Okay, so if I'm going to increase the voltage applied across that particular resistor, the current flowing through that particular resistor is gone increasing. So this is nothing but a linearity, right? So applied voltage is increasing, and the output current flowing through that particular resistor is going to also increase, right? So remember that this is nothing but a type of linearity. Yes, great. But let us say there is a one component which is having relation like this one. Okay, it is not having any kind of relation. Okay, so direct that is linearity relation is not there. Then this kind of waveform, or this kind of graph is called as non-linear graph. Is that fine? Okay, so over here we are going to apply now linear operations and non-linear operations, right? So H is nothing but the transformation or operation, right? So H is nothing but a type of operation that we are going to perform. Let us say F is an image and G is an image, right? So over here they have mentioned as there are two images are there, image F and image G. These are the two images, and on which we are going to perform some linear operations, right? If it is satisfying this condition, let us say A of H of F, that means if I am going to perform operation F H on particular F image, okay, and also if I am going to perform operation H on G image, then whatever the resultant image, if I am going to result by means of performing this, and if I am going to perform it in a exclusively manner, then if I'm going to add these two effects together, then if I'm going to get image as like this, then we can say that the linear operation. I hope you have studied the linearity concept in case of your signals and system as well, right? So this is one and same as like that your signals and system, right? So linearity concept is nothing but what, if you are performing a particular operation on, let us say, two images all together, and if their results are, let us say, the superposition theorem, right? So it is nothing but application of superposition theorem actually, right? So we are considering these two images individually, and we are performing operation, that is H operation, on that particular two images individually, right? And then we are multiplying with some factor, right? So these are nothing but the constant. Okay, so A and B are nothing but the constant, and they have multiplied together, and they have been added. Okay, if this result and if this result is exactly same, then we can say that this is nothing but a linear operation. If it is not same, then we are calling that operation is nothing but a non-linear operation, right? So H is said to be linear operation if it satisfies the above equation. If it is satisfying this equation, then we can call that it is nothing but a linear operation. Or else, definitely, if it is not satisfying that equation, then the operation is nothing but a non-linear type of operation, right? I hope you have understood every fundamental thing related to the digital image processing. Okay, so over here I declare that the first chapter of your digital image processing is completed over here, right? Okay, so we shall be discussing your next chapter in the next lecture. Thank you.